Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Makeda Valletta, also known as the Body Scientist. And in case you are unfamiliar with me, I have a background in exercise and sports science and nutrition science. And my approach to health and to the body, to fitness, is all about doing all of the things that we can to take our body to its highest level. So for me, it's about performance and not just a look, okay? It's not just superficial. It's about how healthy your body is. What can your body do? The longevity of your body. And currently, I am in Puerto Escondido on the coast of Oaxaca in Mexico. It is February 4th, 2021, in the midst of the COVID pandemic. And I want to talk about my experiences traveling through Mexico during the COVID pandemic, what I'm doing to stay healthy, and all of those things, okay? Because I know I have a lot of followers who are afraid to travel. And I will be posting this video on my Instagram page and my YouTube page. So if you're on YouTube and you don't follow me on IG or vice versa, be sure to find me on both places because I don't always post the same things. So I post some things on IG that's not on YouTube. My YouTube page is The Body Scientist 81. My IG page is at @the_body_scientist. Okay, so with that being said, I just wanted to say that some things that I've noticed about Puerto Escondido in particular, because I did do a video talking about my experiences in Tulum and Playa del Carmen in December of 2020 and what they were doing in terms of dealing with COVID. At this point, it's not necessary to take a COVID test to come into Mexico. So a lot of Americans have been coming to Mexico, well, a lot of people, period, because where I'm at right now, Tulum and Cancun and the Playa del Carmen has a lot of American tourists. Over here on this Pacific coast and the coast of Oaxaca and Puerto Escondido, there are a lot of tourists here too, not nearly as much as the Cancun, Tulum area, not nearly as much. This beach that I'm on is super empty right now. So for those who care about social distancing and all of that, you probably would rather be here than to be in Tulum or Playa del Carmen. Playa del Carmen had like the most crowded beaches I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't bother me because of my understanding of infectious disease and viruses. And if you're not familiar with that, please check out my other videos where I talk more about microbiomes and immune systems. So for me, I'm not bothered by that. But for those of you who do take the social distancing serious and don't want to be in like big crowds, then this area would be a better area. The tourists who are over here on this side seems to be a lot of Europeans, a lot of French. I hear people speaking maybe Italian. I'm not sure completely if there's a lot of Americans because most of the people that I hear speaking English don't sound American. Most of the tourists appear to be white. There are a few black tourists. I've probably seen maybe 10 black people since I've been here. I'm not sure if they're black Americans or black Canadians or Caribbean or European, I don't know. But most Americans I know have no gracias. Most Americans I know have never heard of Puerto Escondido. Now, it's very sunny over here. Apparently it's like 330 sunny days out the year. It's blazing hot in the daytime. The mornings and the evenings are warm, so it never gets cold like how in Tulum and Playa, it can get chilly in the evening. It'll be like hot in the daytime and get chilly at night where you have to put on a jacket. It's not necessary over here. I haven't had to put on a jacket once. Un poco, pero I'm busy.
Is it one shoot on the boat or what?
No, it's okay.
Are we looking for marijuana?
No, gracias.
Good.
¿Cuánto por marijuana?
Here is $60. $60 is the big packet. $60 big packet, pero good. When you smoking, happy, much smoking.
¿Cuántos gramos?
Maybe the 10.
10?
Yes.
Okay. Está bien, okay. I'm right. I'm está bien ahora.
You're looking for how much?
No, I'm fine right now. I just wanted to know. Muchas gracias.
Yeah.
And so that was me doing some independent research because also I love cannabis, and Mexico is about to be one of the world leaders in cannabis, even though I feel like the United States might be the best place for cannabis on earth, especially the West Coast. But Mexico and Colombia are also very, like, they've decriminalized it a lot. I think Mexico is like one step away from legalizing it, and Colombia too, I think. Or if they haven't already done it, I haven't kept up with the laws, but I was just trying to see, this guy was walking on the beach. No one has approached me about weed here, so I was just trying to see what the prices were, just for my own personal research to know. One of the things about over here, because I was saying, and I've talked in other videos about how in Mexico, they're like overly obsessed with the hand sanitizer. If you haven't seen my videos about why I would never use hand sanitizer, make sure you check that video out. I will post it below this YouTube video when I get a chance, but I'm super busy, but make sure you check out the video about hand sanitizers, okay? Very dangerous. And in Mexico, everywhere I've been here, it's like they're obsessed with, like, everybody has a huge bottle, and as soon as you approach someplace, they have this big bottle of hand sanitizer. You could easily end up putting hand sanitizer in your hands 20 times a day, which is really bad. Doing it once is bad, let alone over and over again. I'm actually surprised about that. And you can use natural things if you want, but more than anything, washing your hands is the best thing to do. So one thing I find interesting about Puerto Escondido is that there are places that I've gone to, a few restaurants I've gone to that actually have a hand washing station out front for you to wash your hands. And some of them make you wash your hands before you come in. With the hand sanitizer, a lot of times it's optional. There are many times I said I didn't want it and they were okay with it. But when I was in the Caribbean coast and I was in Tulum and Puerto Morelos, there are places where you could not come in if you didn't use the hand sanitizer, which is why I always walk around with my own that's natural. I walk around with a natural one. It's made from essential oils and natural antibacterial agents that won't mess up my microbiome. And I just showed them I have my own, I use it, and they're fine with that. So I would definitely suggest that, okay? You don't want to be using I would suggest get natural hand sanitizer, walk around with it in case you need it here. The mask here. So Mexico City is like New York City or Chicago, where everybody has on masks, okay? Walking down the street, people have on masks. Most of the restaurants in Mexico City are closed. I mean, not closed, they're only open for takeout, just like New York and Chicago. The places with outdoor seating in Mexico City are open for dining, and Mexico City is much warmer than New York and Chicago, so they don't have to build like a whole outdoor heating area like they do in New York and Chicago. However, here in Puerto Escondido, it's similar to in Tulum and Playa, where everybody doesn't have on masks, okay? Everybody doesn't have on masks here. A lot of places. I've gone into bikini stores and I've gone to a lot of businesses where the people working there didn't have on a mask, I didn't have on a mask, nobody said anything, and I kind of go off of them. When I get in the taxis here, I look, if the taxi driver doesn't have on a mask, then I don't put on a mask, you know? But if they ask me to, I always have it with me. I actually am not really with the mask, and I haven't had a chance to do a whole video speaking about that. But I will post some links below this YouTube video from some scientists who speak about how masks are not good, and you can take a look at that on your own. And then eventually, when I get a chance, I'll do a video about that. But it's hard to be places, you know, like I wear them out of respect when I have to. But, you know, it's hard for all of us, you know, for one way of being to be imposed on all of us. Like all of us have to do this thing. All of us have to go by this one way of dealing with COVID, or else you're killing the planet or you're hurting everybody. When, truth be told, a lot of people can't breathe with the mask on, okay? That's a pure fact. Especially when you're doing certain things, like even when I'm ice skating, I can't breathe and it's too hot. out here to be walking around with a mask on, and nothing is better than fresh air. The air is blowing, it's hot, you're sweating. There's no like you can't. I don't believe that's good for you. Okay. So it's nice to be someplace where I don't have to have a mask on all damn day long. And Miami was like that in the U.S. So Mexico, to me, from what I'm seeing, is similar to how the U.S. is, how they deal with it differently in different states, okay? In Miami, everybody's not wearing masks, and it's like you have to go down there and kind of like, you know, sneak and not take too many pictures because people up north think that people in Florida are idiots, so they don't have one mask and blah, 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 blah. But is the mask really helping? That's a whole other discussion. Like I said, I'll do a whole other video on that. Of course, getting sun on your skin, you know, I have videos where I talk about vitamin D. The darker your skin is, the more sun you need on your skin to get vitamin D. You also need to get it from your diet. The sun is not enough for most people. But even most places... Hola. ¿Qué es esto?
Pineapple, piña.
Oh, okay. No, gracias. Most people here who live here have on too much clothes. So you really have to, the darker your skin, you have to be in the sun a lot. And you have to have as much of your skin exposed to the sun as possible. So for me here, like this is definitely a place I plan to come back and do more work because I need to change the scenery just for my mental health. Like I already worked at home before COVID, but being at home and going from one room to the next is hard for me. It's hard for me to stay motivated. It's hard for me to stay productive. Like it's just not working. Okay, I just can't do it. So luckily I have the ability to move around, and so this is a place where I feel like I can get work done. It's easy to get around. It's cheap. You know, I can walk 30 minutes to a different neighborhood along the beach, you know, and while I'm walking in a bikini, so I'm getting the sun all over my skin, getting a good dose of sun, which is really important for our immune systems. Despite getting vitamin D from the sun, which is really important for our immune system, there are other benefits of the sun, okay? I should do a video about that too, but there are other benefits that the sun gives us in terms of health and healing and preventing diseases. And now, in order to go back to the States, you have to take a COVID test. Now, I'm not sure if they're doing COVID testing in the Puerto Escondido area. I didn't ask. I'm going back to Mexico City today, and I'm going to get a COVID test this evening. It takes 15 minutes, and I fly back on Saturday. So for the U.S. now, you have to have a negative COVID test to get into the U.S., whether you're a citizen or not. The test has to be taken within 3 days prior to your takeoff date. If it's 4 days or 5 days, the test doesn't count. So hopefully I have a negative test. The tests are very flawed. I've done videos about that too. There's a lot of false negatives, a lot of false positives. So that's why, you know, the testing is an issue. So I hope that I get a negative test so I'm not stuck in Mexico for 2 weeks. Although it's not the worst place to be stuck, I do want to get home. I have things to do. So I will report on what that whole experience was about. But right now I land in Puerto Escondido, in Mexico City at like 5, and I have an appointment for 7 to get my COVID test this evening. It's $55. They come directly to you. I got this information from my Airbnb host. So from what I know in the U.S., they're not even doing that. I don't even know about anybody coming to your house to give you a COVID test in the U.S. in 15 minutes. Maybe if you're a celebrity, and it definitely ain't gonna be $55, okay? That's one thing I noticed about Mexico and Colombia when it comes to, because I had surgery in Colombia, and not cosmetic surgery. I didn't get booty implants or nothing like that. But the nurse had to come give me an injection. They came to where I was at and gave me the injection at my Airbnb. Okay, the nurse was a male that showed up on a motorcycle, and funny enough, I had to get the injection in my booty, even though I didn't have surgery in my booty, so don't think that. But in the U.S., there's no nurses coming to your house to give you injections, okay? And it was cheap, and So my experience with healthcare in Colombia was good. And a lot of times people in America act like if you're getting healthcare in Cuba or Colombia or Mexico, it's less than. That has not been my experience, okay? I've gone to the doctors in Cuba with my mother and my aunt, watched them get an exam. I have a YouTube video where I talk all about that. I have a YouTube video where I talk about my experiences in Colombia just with the healthcare system. So it's not, I would say it's not less quality, but it's good to know that, Mexico is really stepping up to help Americans who need COVID tests to get back into the country, okay? So, I will report back about that after I go through that process. So yeah, Mexico, the overuse of hand sanitizers. A lot of places have, something where you clean your feet before you come in there. No gracias. Like even when we got off the plane, we had to clean our feet in this puddle of water in Puerto Escondido before we came in the airport. That feet cleaning thing was a must. Flying into Mexico City, we had to walk through hand sanitizer spraying down on us, and they did temperature checks. They do temperature checks almost everywhere here. Like a lot of restaurants do temperature checks now. In the U.S., I haven't seen that. I've seen them do it in the gym, but they haven't done temperature checks in the U.S. at restaurants. Not the places in the U.S. that I've seen. But here, not every restaurant does it, but a lot of restaurants will do temperature checks. The ones who stress the mask, like even though we're outside, they'll be like, some of them will say, oh, put in a mask, and then when you get to your table, take it off, which they say in the U.S. too. But yet here, all of these restaurants here are outside. They're all outdoor, like there's no walls on any of them. So that's another good thing, you're getting fresh air. One of the issues with COVID spreading is people sitting up in that same stifled air all the time. So out here there's a lot of fresh air. Like I haven't seen really one place that has walls, okay? You're outside, fresh air. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. I've also seen a lot of natural beauty products here. I've seen a lot of natural beauty products here in, una más, por favor. I've seen a lot of natural beauty products here in Puerto Escondido y in Tulum and Mexico City. I'll definitely buy some when I come back. This time I'm trying not to take too many things, and I lost my bank card and just a bunch of stuff. So, but lots of natural beauty products, and I will post some of those photos to share some of that on my IG page. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to say. I think I might have said everything that I need to say. But me, I'm not nervous about getting COVID because I take care of myself. I make sure that my vitamin D and my vitamin A is up. So I'm taking my I take my cod liver oil. I eat my raw dairy, which is also high in vitamin A and D, the raw cheeses, the butters, the eggs from the farm, pork fat, and get my good old bacon from the farm. So those are all good sources of vitamin D. I take desiccated liver pills, so I get my vitamin D, my vitamin A up. I take a lot of probiotics, and I protect my microbiome. And I don't eat a lot of processed foods. So those are all the things that contribute to somebody having a weak immune system. I can't remember the last time I had a cold. Let alone the flu. I don't know if I ever had the flu, and if I did, I was probably a baby. But I can't remember the last time I had a cold, so I'm definitely not nervous about COVID. The best prevention is taking care of yourself. The best prevention is not a test, because tests can be falsely negative or positive. Like if you're exposed to something, it takes a couple weeks maybe for it to show up in the test. So that doesn't mean that just because you have a negative test that you don't have something, or just because you have a positive test that you don't, okay? So you can't just rely on tests to protect you and save you. You have to take care of yourself. To me, taking care of myself is more important than a vaccine or anything, because if you're naturally exposed to something, your body naturally builds up immunity anyway. So, and it's actually more beneficial immunity, more true immunity than taking a vaccine. There's a lot of issues with vaccines, and I've done some videos about that but I will do more videos about that coming up. I have more videos to do about the problems with vaccines, but definitely check out the videos I've done thus far. If you are in Mexico, visiting Mexico, any parts of Mexico, and you want to share your 2 cents about your experiences here during COVID, please do. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm hoping that I said everything I wanted to say. I think I did at this moment. Gracias. I think I did at this moment. But if there's anything I didn't say, I'll be sure to do it in the next video. I'm trying to think. I just want to make sure. But it's good to be outside and getting fresh air, your feet on the sand, you know, that water coming off the air that's full of chi and life force, eating good food, being stress-free, okay? Puerto Escondido is a great place to come to do that in peace. I feel safe here in every way. There's in no moment that I felt unsafe or like somebody was trying to rob me or tip me or it's a good place to be, okay? I feel like that's the place. Also, I've been looking for a place to do my sensual strength training retreat, okay? I haven't done one in a few years, and I feel like it's really needed now. I've been looking for a good place to do it, and there's a number of things that I need, and I feel like this is the place that I'm going to do it. At first I was thinking about Tulum, and I held off on posting about that because I kept, you know, I was thinking about April and Tulum, but the problem with Tulum is beautiful and it has special things, but it's expensive, you know, so if you come there, it's expensive getting around, getting to the beach is a pain in the ass, like, it's hard to get around, it's big, and it's expensive. Although nice. So I feel like Puerto Escondido, it's easy to get around, it's super duper cheap, you can eat whatever you want, do whatever you want, you don't have to go wherever you want, you don't have to worry about going broke or overspending, and it's easy to get around, and it's beautiful. So I feel like Puerto Escondido is going to be that spot, so look out for the upcoming information on that, okay? So I hope you're all doing well. Make sure to check out my other videos below on my YouTube, my other videos on COVID and immunity, and be sure to follow me on YouTube and IG. And have a great day, people, okay? Bye. Stay healthy.